Demons POV. Felix got me comfortable on the couch with the fire started, then went off to make food. I expected him to be gone for a while, but not even 2 minutes later he came back, looking a little stressed.
Baby, there's a problem at the gate I have to deal with. Are you okay to stay here?
It was pretty obvious to me he was freaking out. I didn't want to leave him. Can go with you? He sighed and nodded, not hesitating to pick me up and carry me to the wheelchair. We walked for a few minutes outside before reaching a big stone wall that stretched farther than my eyes could see on both sides. In the middle was a gate and lots of werewolves. I noticed my friend standing at the front of the group. She wasn't shifted, seemingly talking to someone. Felix walked us over to the wall, keeping me out of sight of whoever was out there. He then kissed my forehead and made his way through the crowd to my friend.
What is the meaning of this?
He was using his alpha voice. It made a shiver run down my whole body at how powerful he sounds. Then, another powerful voice was heard.
I have reason to believe my child is here. If you do not answer me truthfully, I will order my people to slaughter everyone and find out for myself.
Silence rang in my ears as I tried to process why the voice sounded so familiar, so comforting.
Who is your child?
Felix sounded apprehensive. I guess he didn't trust this man very much.
Alexander Adonis Sivolka.
My heart thumped hard in my chest at hearing my full name. This man is my father? All of my life, I thought my family hated me, that they didn't want me. But was he actually looking for me? I decided to find out for myself. It took a lot of effort, but I pushed my way over to the gate and peered out. I was finally able to get his scent and see his tall figure. He is my father. I can smell it, feel it. We have a family bond. I started tearing up. For my whole life growing up in that prison, I had a father looking for me. His tall, willowy frame, short black hair, and pale skin, very similar to my appearance. The only difference was his blood-red eyes, pointed ears, and lack of freckles.
Felix's POV.
Alexander Adonis Sivolka.
His gravelly voice was strong, powerful, and deep, challenging that of my own alpha tone. I was about to say that we didn't have anyone by that name here, when his eyes locked on something beside me. Both Saya and I turned, only to find the object of his attention was my mate.
Moja lubov idet syunda.
He spoke in the demon language, Russian.
I don't speak Russian. I have no idea if this is right or not. According to one of the comments, this translates to, "My love, come here."
I couldn't understand what he said, but my mate seemed to know. He started pushing himself over to the gate, but I grabbed the handle of the wheelchair, stopping it in its tracks.
What are you doing? Do you know him?
He nodded. I could see the tears threatening to spill down his cheeks.
Release my son this instant, wolf.
My blood boiled at the insult, and I turned my head to yell at him. But instead of seeing a demon, the leader of hell, I saw only the face of a worried father, his red eyes misty with unshed tears.
If I open the gate for you, you must promise that no harm will come to any of my pack or my mate.
Konnichiwa, I give you my word.
Russian for certainly.
I stared hard into his eyes, trying to find any sign of a lie, but when I couldn't,
open the gates.
Immediately, the warrior at the lever followed my orders. The big metal gates opened, leaving no barrier between us and the demon army Sivolka brought with him. He acted quickly, using the unnatural speed their species is gifted with. Instantly, he was at my mate, crouched down and pulling him up. My wolf was about to take over and attack him, but Saya grabbed my arm. Her touch unclouded my rage-filled eyes, and I was able to see that they were in fact hugging. The tension and uneasiness didn't leave, but at least I wasn't about to do something I would regret.
Mój rebenak, moja lubov, ja konec našel tebia.
My baby, my love, I finally found you.
Papa!
They were both crying now, tears rolling down their cheeks. It was a very emotional reunion, one you would never expect from the leader of hell. My mate, though I suppose his name is Alexander, he wrapped his legs around Sivolka's waist and hugged him tighter as he cried harder. Everything about this man screamed a danger. My wolf was on edge with how close he and my mate were. Yet the only thing I could think about was how terrible it must have been to have your child missing for who knows how long. Eventually, he was able to compose himself, though my mate was still sniffling and pressing his face into Sivolka's shoulder. He turned and smiled at me, a surprisingly warm and kind smile. "Thank you, little wolf." Looking past the jab at my pride, I nodded.
Alexander,
My mate turned his head, blushing at my use of his name.
it's too cold out here for you. Why don't you invite him inside so we can get you warmed up?
I had noticed he was shaking. "Papa?" Sivolka smiled. "Of course, you needn't be so cold, Sasha."
Sasha,
"A nickname. Now, let us go. He is cold." I nodded, and we made our way back to the pack house after he dismissed the army. This is going to be a long day.